Feeling pretty good through there. A little bit of a slide, we got it. We're back with the Civic Type R. It's raining out. We're at Waterford Hills Raceway in Waterford, Michigan. Today, I'm running the Falken Azenis FK460 tires. These are all seasons. Had these on the car for quite a while. And we're on the braid wheels. 18 by 9.5, 265 40 R18 tires. We'll see how these do in the wet today. Nothing's really changed with the car since our last track video. We're still running the Paragon R5 pads in the front, R3s in the rear. We've got the PRL rear motor mount, air filter, and the Integra Type S damper module. Let's see how this handles on the wet today. It's always fun coming off the racetrack, playing in the rain. And it's been a while since I've run Waterford Hills. So we'll get a few sighting laps under our belt and see what type of lap times we put down. Should be a fun time. Today we're gonna run with our window, driver's side window down. So we'll get a little bit more wind noise. Hopefully not too much water in the cabin. Log R app running here so we can data log and get some lap times. The goal is to avoid standing water and keep all four wheels on the racetrack today. We've got traction, stability control turned off. Getting a feel for the grip limits out here. The idea with this FK460 tire is that it would make a pretty good wet track day option. And that's what we're testing out in today's video. So that's the hypothesis. I think it's gonna ring true. So far, it's feeling pretty good. Big things you wanna avoid in the wet. You wanna steer clear of the traditional racing line if there's a lot of rubber on that section of track. And of course, you wanna avoid shiny spots. That's where your standing water is gonna be. Like this middle section. So we'll slow down through there, but so far these tires have pretty darn good water evacuation properties. They have pretty deep tread with a lot of longitudinal grooves to evacuate that water. A little bit of understeer there on power. Brakes are feeling fantastic. Not the best steering feel from these tires, but I have enough communication to know what's going on with the front tires when I'm starting to lose a little bit of grip. We've aired down the rears to about 31 PSI. Might take a little bit more out if we experience liftoff oversteer, but so far this feels pretty good. Fronts are at about 33. Got some fun cars out here with us. Good group of guys. We're at a private track day with some friends today. That's the way to do it, honestly. Got an NC power retractable hardtop Miata in front of us, a 944. We have a Rotrex supercharged NA Miata, and then a Volvo V70R, which we will see there on the back straight. And we'll get an idea here just how deep this puddle gets. Thinking the right side of the track is probably the shallowest, but I don't think we have to worry too much about temperatures getting hot today. External air temp is 61 degrees Fahrenheit. Water temp's about 180. Oil temp's 210. Love that polar moment when you lift in this Type R and the rear end just kind of wiggles around. So much fun. All right, so so we're not going to be doing any blazing lap times today, but especially with this water feature here. But I think we can catch this 944. A little bit slipperier on the dry line there, but willing to compromise a little bit of mechanical grip just to stay on line today, since things are drying out a tad. Car feels fantastic. Type R is such a fun car on track. It just doesn't get old, even in the wet. Nice and grippy on the outside here. Lead our way onto the inside, hit these curbs, stay outside, turn in right here. Jump up onto the curbing. Be patient, wait for it. Let it track out. Little dab of brake to get us turned in there. It's getting a little bit shallower. I think I need to start from the outside here. Kind of double apex this. This is mostly a third gear course. This is where Miatas absolutely shine. Brakes seem to be holding up pretty well too. Not a ton of heavy braking zones here at Waterford, though there isn't a lot of speed to cool off the system. Honestly, set of all seasons, it's kind of the way to go on days like this. This tire just gives me so much confidence. Volvo's absolutely hammering. All right, this whole time we've just been sitting in comfort mode. Let's go into individual. That's going to put our suspension into... Let's put our suspension into sport. We'll ramp things up a little bit. Steering's still in comfort. Gauges in plus R. Yeah, that feels pretty good. Alright, we'll get a little more stiffness out of this chassis here. Better throttle response 2 in plus R mode. Love love these brakes. They are just so good. This is awesome. I've never had a car that I can just do a 25-minute session with. This Type R, it stays cool. The brakes work. The engine cooling works. If oil temp and water temp get a little bit high, all I do is just crank the heat and make it as hot as possible in here. But honestly, a lot of the track days we've had here in Michigan have been 60-degree days, and it just hasn't been that hot out. All right, well, it's been 30 minutes. I might dip in, check tire pressures, lower some pressures, and see where we stand. Track's drying out nicely. Do a little half cool down here. All right, we're gonna go out for one more session. We just got some coaching from my buddy John, and he knocked a whole second off my lap times, which is pretty awesome. So a little bit of coaching from him. We are chasing grip today with the wet line. And let's see here. Let's start our data log again. Waterford Hills, auto. All right, we're in good shape. Try not to run over Nate here. We've got VSA fully disabled, collision avoidance completely off as well. Saw my first glint of dry pavement. That's promising. Water feature's gone. I like that. Still pretty slippery through there, but we're going to use understeer to get us through the corner as quick as possible. Slow in, fast out here. Turning in a little bit earlier here. There's a slight camber here where we can get a bit more grip and just kind of get ourselves through that corner with less understeer. Traction through here now. This is drying out a lot with more speed. Try to carry a bit more through that initial section and then letting off through here as it gets pretty slippery. Those front tires dig us out there. This is getting a bit grippier here too as it dries out. Slowing through here, getting the right line, turning in when we see the rumble strips, letting understeer just push us wide into fourth. Getting my braking done a little bit earlier here so I can turn in early, take advantage of that grip. Understeering through there. A little bit faster in the beginning here and then letting off, getting that rear end to come around so we we can be on the right side of the track, which will set us up nicely for the S. A lot of sun coming out, that's nice. A little bit more traction here too because of that. Love to see it. Bit of maintenance throttle. All right, we're bleeding off seconds here on our lap times. Getting on throttle a little bit earlier there so we can run wide. Still kind of slippery through there, but we're gonna let the diff dig us out. There's a lot more grip through here now. I think I can push a bit harder through that corner entry. Don't want to get on power too early here because then we'll just understeer into the tires. Staying mid-track where all the grip is. Turning in early, letting it run wide with just a bit of maintenance throttle. Letting that rear end come around, setting us up here. Pretty good through there. A little bit of a slide. We got it. Staying a bit more outside there. Stay a little bit slower through here so we don't have another poo moment. Maybe we'll left foot brake a bit too. Yeah. We're gonna cut this in a bit, pry that understeer out. So might as well use it as a cool down opportunity. Only one passing section today on the back straight. Honestly, these FK460s are a pretty darn good track tire. They're wearing well and they're awesome in the wet. A lot of mechanical grip here too. Speed through there, which is nice. Look at that. Get down to the 130s now. Feeling a lot quicker out here today. This in nice and early, right out that camber, let it run wide. This is getting grippier here too. Take that last section flat out now. traction here as I would like, but we're working with it. It's nicely rotated off throttle, fighting turbo lag there. Using all the track, we paid for it. Don't want to go too crazy on the throttle here. Still a bit slippery. 128.96, that was the quickest lap yet. Oh, this corner got so fast, I love it. Let's not understeer off into the grass today. Mid-track looks the driest, then it gets kind of greasy through here. But I hear tire squeal, and that's a good sign. I'm gonna dive into the front of this corner here. Little drift. Low fuel light. Saving mode. And one of the only complaints I have about the Type R is that it just burns through fuel so fast on track. I mean, like today we've averaged 11.4 miles to the gallon, and the fuel tank's so small that you really don't get a ton of time. You get a couple sessions in before you gotta refuel. It's that last session of the day where you really want to hammer. That's when you're out, when you run into fuel starvation. End of the day, 4 p.m., that was fun. It's nice that it progressed from wet to drier. Give me a chance to really work on the line some. Have a couple oversteer moments. But it wasn't so wet that I didn't feel fast out here. That was a good day. This car is just so much fun on track. I absolutely love it. Every time I take it out, I'm glad I did. From the inputs to its responsiveness, the immediacy, the way it keeps cool, the engine, the brakes, everything works fantastic. It's always a lot of fun. Looks like our fastest lap was a 128.07. Awesome. On a dry day, this should be in the low 120s. I don't know exactly, but maybe even sub 120, I'm not sure. All right, that's a wrap. A lot of fun. We kept the shiny side up and didn't have any, or too many pucker moments. All right, guys, that's a wrap for this one. Thanks so much for watching. We're gonna air up the tires a little bit before the drive home, and hopefully you enjoyed this video at Waterford Hills. That was a lot of fun. Good day. We'll see you guys later. Take care. Yeah, these champs all day long. That's awesome. And these brake pads don't even look much worse for wear.